sewing friends, welcome to my sewing room. My name is Beth, and if you're new, welcome. Today I'm going to share about this beautiful 9-patch. This one is made with some double knit and it has this really fun pom-pom trim. Let's get started. I found this beautiful queen size quilt at a thrift store and I brought it home just so that I could share it with you. It is made, like I said, with double knit fabric, and someone collected a lot of beautiful solid colors of this double knit. The whites are all white, but some of the fabrics are just a little bit different. And the fun thing about this quilt is that border on the edge, those little pom-poms all the way around. Here's a close-up of some of the fabrics, and you can see that the quilter tied this quilt with little pieces of yarn. There is batting, and there's a very simple white knit on the back. I wanted to try to recreate this quilt and make a small sample, so I pulled out some cottons, and these are all solids like the quilt, and I am going to be cutting some 3-inch squares, and I'm going to make a large pillow with that fun pom-pom trim all the way around. Once I had all of my 3-inch squares cut, I started making some 9 patches, and I did half of the 9 patches with the 5 colored squares, and half of them will have the 4 squares so that I can alternate between those 2 layouts and have a pillow with a similar pattern as this quilt. I made 9 different blocks for my pillow, and here's the quilt next to my pillow, the blocks for my pillow, and here is that pom-pom border, the edge of the quilt. You can see the quilter added that the pink pom-poms right there on the edge of the quilt. She just top stitched it to the back of that quilt. She put the quilt together like a pillowcase and then added the trim around the edge. I will be adding my pom-poms just a little bit differently. once I had my 9 blocks together, my 9 patches joined together, I made a little quilt sandwich with some batting and backing, and this will be the front of my pillow. I'm using some 505 spray. It's a fabric adhesive, and just a very little bit of this spray will hold the quilt top to the batting, and I'll do that on the front and the back. Once I had my quilt sandwich ready to go, I'm going to quilt my pillow front. I'm going to quilt through all of the seams. It's called Stitch in the Ditch, and I will use some white thread, and hopefully it will kind of blend in with this pillow front. Once my little quilt, my little pillow was quilted, I trimmed away the excess batting and backing. I have my quilt quilted the front of my pillow. I'm going to call my little quilt, and I have a piece of fabric for the backing, just a tiny bit bigger than the pillow front, and I have that pom-pom trim. So the first thing I'm going to do, I have not done this before, and if you have any tips, I hope you'll leave a comment, let everybody know what the trick to doing this is. What I did is I basted those pom-poms to the front of my pillow, and I used a basting stitch, and I had to go carefully because those pom-poms really wanted to get in the way, but I'm going to baste that pom-pom trim right on the front of my pillow. Once I had that trim basted on the front of my pillow, I took the backing and I will be pinning the backing along the edge of the quilt or this pillow and trying to keep those pom-poms on the inside. I used quite a few pins to make sure those pom-poms were on the inside instead of poking out, and I will begin here on one of the sides, and I will need to leave an opening so that I can turn my pillow right side out. I was successful at getting the sides joined on this pillow without getting any of those pom-poms in the way. I was kind of worried that they would try to poke through into my seam, and they all stayed put, which was very good. And once I had my pillow back on, I stuffed it, and then I took a needle and thread and closed up that hole, and my pillow was complete. This was a fun project using that quilt as an inspiration for this really fun pillow with that pom-pom trim. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.